Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Another week, another iPadOS beta, but I am doing my best to keep up with them for you. This week we've got iPadOS 18, Developer Beta 5. And as you'd kind of expect, as we're nearing the end of summer, the betas are going to have fewer and fewer new features in them, especially with the Apple Intelligence stuff happening on 18.1. So there's not a ton here, but I'm going to go ahead and go over what the highlights are. So let's jump right into it. The biggest new change in this release would be a new feature in Safari called Distraction Control. And this does basically what the name implies. It allows you, the user, to manually select elements on a page that you find distracting and get rid of them. So what does that look like? So let's start. I'm going to go to Microsoft.com because I know whenever I'm on here, I usually run into a pretty annoying pop-up. So on Microsoft.com, say I'm looking at the surfaces and I want to, for whatever reason, this banner up top is bothering me. What I can do is hit the page control menu at the top here. There's a new option called Hide Distracting Items. When you tap that, there's that banner, you can individually select an item and get rid of it. So if I tap on this Can We Help You thing, you see it gets highlighted with a blue rectangle and there's an option to hide it, which I will do. And we get this super cool Thanos snap animation, which I think I could watch all day. You notice at the top here it says one item hidden because this is like a mode you're in. So if there are multiple things you want to get rid of, like this back to school banner, you can just start tapping and tapping and tapping to get rid of them. And then it tells you how many you have hidden, and I'm going to hit done. Cool. And this will even persist among some number of refreshes, although Apple tells you the first time you do this that this is not a permanent removal, doesn't hide this stuff forever. So in that way, it doesn't work the same as an ad blocker. And that's a given because, of course, you have to manually hide the elements you want to hide versus an ad blocker that would do this automatically for you. All right, so I've got now the blue eye with a line through it to indicate I have elements hidden on this page. When I go back to the page menu, you'll see I have the option to hide more things, but I can also just bring everything back. And it's back like it was before. And then if I have an issue with that, I can just report it here. So that's a pretty cool feature. You got to ask yourself how much time you're saving by going through all the tabs to enable this versus just hitting the X or something to clear the dialog, right? You have to make a judgment call there. But anyway, it's worth it alone just for the animation for me. So that's a pretty cool feature. One of the things I haven't spent, I don't think, any time talking about in the iPadOS 18 beta is the Photos app redesign. And that's mostly because I honestly found it to be kind of an overwhelming mess, at least on first glance. Like when you dig into it, it's fine-ish, but the Photos app to this point has been pretty simple, at least for someone like me, and it just feels a bit overcomplicated now. But that being said, it looks like Apple is responding to feedback, and they have removed the carousel that used to be at the top of the initial photos page here. It's closer to what I would expect. I think it's really nice that Apple is listening to people's feedback and either removing the carousel or maybe taking some time to rethink it. A nice small change that I'm actually kind of excited to hear is a quicker way to get to the home screen page editing option from the home screen. What I mean by that is, so when I tap and hold on the home screen to bring up the jiggle mode, and I tap edit, there's now a third option here that's called Edit Pages. And what Edit Pages does is bring you to the screen that lets you turn on or turn off pages of apps. You'd most likely use this with like a focus mode. So essentially it's doing the same thing that you could do before if you hit the little paginated control above the dock here, brings you to that literally to that same view. But this is a bit more discoverable. So I think this is a user interface win. It's been a beta or two since we've seen any dark mode changes to the maps icon, but beta 5 changes that. and it changes that by seemingly sucking all the life out of the dark mode maps icon. So I'm not a fan. I hope they change this back, but there it is, I guess. The Find My icon, on the other hand, got a nicer improvement where the dark mode icon has a bit more detail and variety in the colors, which I'm a bigger fan of. And that's really going to do it for this one. In and out, just like that. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. If you can like the video and subscribe to the channel on your way out, that would help me out a bunch. Make sure to follow me on social media at SlatePad. And with that, I will catch you in the next one. Thanks, and take care.